That's right, Heidi. Eau Claire Memorial graduate Lydia Allen reached out to us tonight. She's a junior at Florida State and was working in the campus library when she found out about the threat on campus. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Without probable cause and without lawful authority. That's how the city and county attorney described the transport of homeless individuals into Eau Claire. In this 6-page letter to Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul, the city's asking for Kaul's opinion on the legality of these transports. Nearly 7 months ago, the healthcare landscape in the Chippewa Valley completely changed with the closures of 2 hospitals and more than a dozen clinics. Since the closures, we've heard from a number of you on the effect of wait times due to the loss of those hospitals. WEAU's Kim Liedholm sitting down with leadership from Mayo Clinic Health System and Marshfield Medical Center to talk about the closures and the demand they've seen since. Tonight, an Eau Claire man is in custody after leading police on a high-speed chase that ended on the city's west side. 41-year-old Nathan Stevens could be facing several charges, which include recklessly endangering safety, possession of meth, and hit and run with injury. WEAU's Daniel Gomez has reaction from both the Eau Claire police chief and a witness. It's been almost a month since several people, including children, were hurt after a wagon tipped over at an apple orchard in Chippewa County. Now, for the first time, one of the children hospitalized, getting to meet the first responders who treated him. WEAU's Kim Liedholm was there at the Fall Fest in the town of Lafayette when that reunion happened. Another claim, Hovde wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Baldwin made this claim while on the campaign trail, along with a very similar claim during the debate and on social media. Now, that claim is true. Hovde has repeatedly said he wants to repeal the law. However, he does support one aspect of the bill that says insurers can't refuse to cover or charge more when people have pre-existing conditions. The results from last night's spring election are in, and La Crosse voters have elected Shondell Washington Spivey as the city's new mayor. Those results coming in just after 11 o'clock last night, and it was a tight race with Spivey earning a little more than 9,000 votes compared to 8,500 for his opponent Chris Kalo. Spivey will fill the role vacated by Mitch Reynolds after he decided not to seek re-election late last year. Here's what Spivey had to say last night after learning that he had won the race. Farmers are the small-town heroes that keep our communities moving forward. In our series, Harvesting Heroes, we celebrate ag workers whose hard work and innovation make a difference. Each month, we tell the story of a harvesting hero and their contributions to agriculture in our region. In this month's Harvesting Heroes, we visit Maple Ridge Orchard, a 22-acre family-owned farm that's been planting and selling all types of apples in the Viroqua, Sparta, and La Crosse region.
Thanks, Heidi. I have been eating food for the last couple of hours, so I'm absolutely stuffed. But there is some fantastic food that was on display here today at the Favorite Fair Food Competition. First time they've had this competition in the last 10 years. And I want to show you just some of the food that we were trying here today.
Thanks, Kim. And as we've just detailed for you, it was a big day for Eau Claire as the city was on the national stage. I had the chance to be a part of the Vice President's press pool this afternoon to provide a firsthand account of this key political day and its importance for the Chippewa Valley. Vice President Kamala Harris and her VP pick, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, touching down in the Chippewa Valley. One of the first people to greet the pair at the Chippewa Valley Regional Airport Wednesday afternoon, Eau Claire City Council President Emily Berge.
All eyes are on Eau Claire, and it's really cool because Eau Claire is great, and it's really fun to show off our city and our region.
After meeting a local Girl Scout troop, it was off to the Eau Claire Event District, where hundreds of supporters gathered to hear from the newly established Harris-Walz campaign.
So, Wisconsin, this has been a big week. On Monday, I officially became the Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
Once the festivities were over at the Eau Claire Event District, the Vice President taking the scenic route back to the airport, including a stop here in downtown Eau Claire to do a little local shopping.
They bought some cheese curds and some local honey and some records from local musicians, and just chatted with a few people, hung out, and then took off. It was a whirlwind of excitement of press and media and Secret Service.
It was a day that put the spotlight squarely on Eau Claire and more broadly the Chippewa Valley as a focal point for both sides of the ticket.
It's incredible that both campaigns are paying attention to what's happening in the city and the voters of our community, and they know how important Wisconsin is overall.
I do think a lot of political campaigns, eye up Eau Claire, and, we had J.D. Vance here today as well. So I think kind of all our eyes are on Eau Claire because they see it could go either way. I mean, really, I've heard that the path to the White House goes through Eau Claire, which is pretty amazing.
And with less than 90 days until Election Day, Berge wouldn't be surprised to see more political events come through the Eau Claire area over the next few months.